Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another edition of NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. WWE Extreme Rules is this coming Sunday live on pay-per-view. You can check out all the latest news and rumors and coverage at NoDQ.com. And by the way, those annoying ads, the ones that take over your screen at times, those are completely gone from NoDQ.com. So make sure you stay tuned to NoDQ for all the very latest in WWE and TNA and of course Extreme Rules. With that being said, let's get right down to your questions. The first one today comes from my good friend Ryan in San Pedro. Hey Aaron, two-parter. Number one, what did you think of the quote, go home Raw for Extreme Rules? And number two, what did you think of WWE promoting what is obviously more important than the pay-per-view, the WWE app, PAIV? Regarding Raw this week, I felt that overall it was a weak go-home show. I felt it was a very run-of-the-mill edition of Raw. Didn't really feel like they made any match special or something you need to see. I did enjoy the Triple H and Brock Lesnar segment. I thought that was well done. But to be honest, I'm not really feeling that match. Wasn't blown away by the first two matches. And, in this PG era, I don't see a cage match being all that exciting. If I knew there was going to be blood and I knew that it was going to be really violent, maybe I would be interested in it, but I'm expecting a watered-down PG match, and maybe one of the guys will get cut open the hard way, but, not really looking forward to that match all that much. And as far as the rest of the card goes, just feels like another WWE show to me, nothing out of the ordinary. And I think that a lot of WWE fans as well are feeling the same way. I don't know if this means anything, but the last 4 out of 5 weeks on NoDQ.com, fans have voted Raw to be thumbs down in the polls. So who knows if that means anything for the buy rate this Sunday. I think if Extreme Rules does well on Sunday, it'll be because of Triple H and Brock Lesnar and nothing else. I think that's really the only match I think that has a lot of appeal to some people. But yeah, it definitely didn't seem like WWE was putting their full focus on Extreme Rules. As you mentioned, they were plugging the stupid WWE app, so make sure you download that WWE app because that is extremely important. Alright, next question from Y2J the Best. What did you think of the US Championship match at Extreme Rules? Dean Ambrose getting a title shot at Singles Championship. How about Reigns and Rollins tag team titles maybe? Hope you answer. P.S. Your videos are entertaining. Well, thank you for that comment. You know what? At first, when I heard about it, I'm like, okay, this sounds good. The Shield winning championship gold at Extreme Rules. I'm all for that. I think that's the next step. That's a good logical step for them. But, any excitement I had for those matches was kind of gone by the time the 6-man tag match ended on Raw. I thought that finish was absolutely terrible. So I guess the Shield is no longer undefeated. I don't know if WWE is going to try to ignore it and act like it didn't happen, but I really don't know what they were thinking. Was it really that bad to have John Cena take a loss there? They couldn't have done something, like have Ryback interfere or something. Anything. Having the Shield get DQ'd when they're about to lose, I thought that was a terrible idea. And, I'm not all that interested now in seeing the Shield in matches at Extreme Rules. At least for me personally, I really don't care that much. But yes, I do expect them to win titles, and they'll have the tag team titles, they'll have the U.S. title, and I think WWE is just going to try to ignore the fact that they did a stupid finish with Shield getting DQ'd. All right, this next one comes from Sarcastic Steven. Hey Aaron, I'm a huge wrestling fan from Florence, Kentucky. A lot of WWE ratings seem to be down as late. Do you think if they brought some old stars back like Batista, Rob Van Dam, or Kurt Angle, would their ratings shoot up? Answer in video. It would help short term. I think that you bring back guys like Batista, RVD, Kurt Angle, I think you would see a brief increase in ratings, and maybe they could get a good pay-per-view buy rate out of those guys, but that's just a quick fix. That's not addressing the overall issue, which is the product is just not very interesting right now. And I think WWE needs to start thinking outside the box and doing some different things. It's the same thing every single week. The contract signings and the same types of storylines every single week, the same characters. I mean, WWE and TNA for that matter. I mean, both of them, both companies really need to change things up. And what WWE needs is a water cooler moment. They need some sort of big angle that's going to get people talking about the product again, and they don't have that. When CM Punk dropped the pipe bomb a couple of years ago, everybody was talking about it. It was something huge, and NoDQ.com crashed several times. I mean, that's how interested people were in it. And now, I mean, nobody is talking all that much about WWE, and that's obviously not a good thing. So, I mean, that's what WWE needs to work on, is the overall product and just getting people talking and doing some different things. Because right now they're just coasting along, same old thing every week. And sure, they could bring RVD back, and for 1 week they'll maybe pop a rating. Who knows? Maybe not. But it's just going to be the same old thing. And hopefully WWE will, at some point, eventually, change things up and start taking some risks again, like the old days. All right, next question here. Hey, Aaron, do you think John Cena is in the top 25 greatest superstars of all time? WWE made a DVD with the top 50, and his made number 16. Your thoughts? Well, I'm guessing that you did not watch my top 25 greatest WWE superstars of all time video series that I did last year. Because if you did, you would have known I put John Cena in the top 25. I wouldn't put him in like the top tier guys. But certainly in the top 10, John Cena, whether you like him or not, he deserves to be there. He's one of the biggest stars in WWE history, and he's had some great matches, despite what people want to say about him only having 5 moves. Matches with Shawn Michaels, matches with CM Punk. When John Cena's in there with the right guy, he can put on a great performance. And, John Cena is a big star despite what people want to believe, and, he's WWE's biggest cash cow of the past decade. So absolutely, he should be in there towards the top. But yeah, I wouldn't put him at the very top, obviously. But if he continues to be a top superstar in WWE, maybe one day he will reach the top level. Maybe even the top 5. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see what happens with John Cena. He's still got several years ahead of him, I'm sure. All right, this one comes from Joseph Glasgow. Do you think The Undertaker should retire at WrestleMania or at Survivor Series where he started? To be honest, there's really no good reason for him to retire at Survivor Series. Survivor Series has been downplayed so much in recent years, it doesn't even feel like a big show anymore. I suppose if Undertaker wanted to keep wrestling a few more years, maybe they could do something for Survivor Series 2015, 25 years of The Undertaker. I mean, they could do something like that, but realistically, I think it's just best to have him wrap up his career at WrestleMania, because that's what WrestleMania is all about in recent history. It's The Undertaker and his streak and all that. So I think that really that's the best way to go, is to have him finish up at WrestleMania. I mean, that's what seems the most fitting. All right, this one comes from WWE Fan 5. Hey, Aaron, who do you think was WCW's biggest star? I'd have to say Goldberg. I totally agree with you. Goldberg was the biggest star that WCW created. Now, overall, WCW's biggest star, probably Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair or Sting. But as far as guys that WCW created on their own, Goldberg would clearly be at the top of the list. And I guess you could say Sting too, because Sting was started off in NWA and was part of WCW. So. You could say Goldberg, Sting, and, after that, maybe DDP. But yeah, I mean, when you look at the overall package, I mean, Hulk Hogan was legitimately the biggest star that WCW had. And he's the guy that was there when WCW started to rise up. And, I mean, Hogan deserves the credit for that, bringing more interest into WCW. I mean, that was all Hulk Hogan. All right, last one today comes from Juggernaut23. Hey Aaron, who do you think is the true Mr. WrestleMania? Please answer in video. Well, Shawn Michaels had the nickname Mr. WrestleMania, but as I mentioned earlier, WrestleMania is identified with Undertaker now. Undertaker's had the streak going on for all these years, and I think when you mention WrestleMania, Undertaker's the first name that comes to mind. So I'd have to say Undertaker. And I did a poll on NoDQ.com a few weeks ago. Who was the biggest superstar in WrestleMania history? And Undertaker won by a landslide. So I think that that's how most people feel, that WrestleMania is best associated out of everybody with Undertaker. And Hulk Hogan too, but Hulk Hogan's more about the early years of WrestleMania. The thing about Undertaker is he has been part of WrestleMania almost since the beginning, since WrestleMania 7. So he's had that long-term association with WrestleMania. So I think it's clear Undertaker is the choice. Alright, that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. If you haven't, subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. We're getting close to 30,000 subscribers, so keep spreading the word. Tell a friend on Facebook or Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time for more NoDQ&A video.